So in my previous video, the 3 key steps to putting a painting together, I talk about the groundwork that we need to do, or that I do anyways, to begin a painting. Now we're going to put it to the test and do an oil painting study of the things that I studied in my previous video. So go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Before we get started, it would be great if you click the like button. It really helps my channel grow, and click subscribe if you want to hang out with me and see what else I'm going to be doing in the future or in the past. Doesn't matter. And you can click on the notification bell so that you know when I have a new video up and out on this channel. My name is Vita Evenson and I paint grease. So I have toned the canvas with a burnt sienna, and I'm putting in the thirds grid, and just using that as my guideline, which I pretty much do most of the time. And I'm mixing up a raw umber with ultramarine blue and using that to establish the darks and the basic shapes of this composition. And you know, the really beautiful part about putting a painting together, when you do the things I did in the previous video on the 3 key steps to creating great paintings, because when you do these 3 steps and you become deeply involved with and understand on a different level what you're about to paint, it really makes this stage of doing an oil painting study much easier. The guesswork is gone, and all I'm really dealing with is establishing the values, getting things in the right place, and the rule of thirds really does help me with that. And because this photo reference on this beach at Banana Beach here in Amuyani is just so well designed. I mean, nature has just designed this so well for me. So I'm sticking really close with the photo reference, and just working on staying connected to the design of the painting, making sure that I have the large shapes, the large masses that I talked about in the previous video, I understood, and that I work with each mass individually, and just putting it all together and getting the block in taken care of, and trying to keep the values working. I can see already that the value is too high, too bright, and the shadows in some areas are much too dark, but that of course will get worked on more as I go in on the next layer and go over it again and start putting things together. So I'm not too worried about it at this point. It would be a problem if I kept painting with the same stark contrasts. But I want to get that focal area ready to take the seagull, which will be sitting at the top of the rock. So I'm trying to get that established first. And for me, I need to have everything else in place before I can really focus on that area. And I'm working on the main shape of this rock, and I have to be careful that I don't divide it in half. And oh, here you can see that I took out the side rocks. They were distracting and really not playing any role. So I just got rid of it. That's the beauty of being an artist, is you get to create the canvas, the composition, the design. You get to change things. And I really love that. And it works so much better. It just works so much better. So I need to get the sense that these rocks are in shadow. Now I'm back on the main rock. It looks like a peace sign, or not a peace sign, but 2 fingers up in the air. That will change. I take note of things and then move on to another area. Desaturating the colors as I go into the background to create a sense of depth and to get a sense of three-dimensionality, that those trees up there are, they play a role, but they're really not that important. What's really the fun part of this painting is, where the seagull is going to be sitting or flying in, or I'm not quite sure, and this main rock and how that is going to play out in this composition. And I just want to make sure that I get the sense that everything is just moving up towards the focal area, which will be, you can see it in the previous video. And slowly, in the next stage, I will put in the seagull, but it's moving to the top of the rock where the darkest dark is, that patch of shaded bushes and trees. I'm toning down the value of the rocks, and it's going to be a fun painting, and I'm really quite happy with how it's turning out. So you can see that the work that I did in that previous video on the 3 key steps to putting a painting together really, really worked out. It just really panned out. I was able to go in and paint this first layer, get my color block in, get everything set up right away. I already knew what I was going to do. I already had the design of the painting, the big geometrical shapes that are working in this painting established, both in my mind and in that gouache study that I did in my previous video. Again, you can check that out up here, I can't remember which side. It just makes the actual painting almost like it's just slipping out of your fingertips. It's just coming through you because you're already aware of it. I mean, imagine, you guys, you're in a dark room and you're stumbling around looking for the light switch. What if before the lights went out, you went in the room, checked it out, knew where everything was, and then turned the lights off? Well, you would go in and you already know where everything is. So you would very quickly find the light switch and you would very quickly understand what is going on in your painting or in that room. So it's kind of the same thing. It's a weird example, but maybe it works for somebody out there. Next time I will go in and do the second layer and just get this little painting established. So with that, you guys have a beautiful day today. Be inspired, be creative, be you.